springen wir zurück 10 und jetzt zum Jahr 20.
Thank you, Shabaka.
Thank you.
Thank you for being our guest.
Thanks for having me.
Jazz is a universal playground. Could you please tell us about this project you bring here at Torino Jazz Festival 2023 with Majid Bekas and Amit Great?
This is a really special project for me because I've been a fan of Ghanaian music for a long time, but I've not done a lot of playing in it. I've played as a special guest in various concerts, but I've never done a whole concert with the Gimbri in particular. So it's really great to be able to just explore that space and explore the rhythms and actually see what it is to play in the same spirit of Ganawa for a whole hour concert. You know, it's going to be real exciting. Like for me, just personally. Also, I was a big fan of the Pharoah Sanders album with Mahmoud Guinea, Trance of Seven Colours, and I've listened to that album so much. So it's good to be able to actually, even in commemorating Pharoah Sanders, to be able to actually get the spirit of that type of collaboration and bring it into today.
You are working with different projects, no? And they have different moods and different inspiration.
Yeah.
Could you please describe them for us? I mean, there is a common focus in them, common focus for every project, one red thread for everything.
Yeah, I mean, there's different types of threads for the different projects. One of the threads is that we normally play continuously throughout the concert. There's not a lot of talking normally, so it means that the energy can actually propulse itself towards the end. And I guess other than that, I don't know, I see that the common thread is me. I basically just do my thing, and my thing is interacting. So my thing is engaging with other musicians and seeing what happens when I try to listen and respond to them and respond to the music in as pure way as possible, considering what I feel in the moment. So it just means that I don't come with any preconceptions. I just listen, and actually this is a good, I played with Charlie Hayden's Liberation Orchestra, and he came into the room after rehearsal and he was just like, guys, you're making this way too hard for yourself. All you need to do is listen and play from your heart, play whatever you feel. So that's how I try to approach all these different bands. Even though they're different musicians, different music, I listen to what's happening and just play what I feel, and it just works out, you know.
Different musical scene all over the world are popping out, no? And making the proposal. Which have been the main characteristic and the creative sources of the London musical scene in which you start playing?
I think the main characteristic is a respect and an acknowledgement for the American tradition, but a kind of irreverence towards it also, like a kind of disregard for keeping the rules as too restrictive, using the rules as a framework to jump off and then including a lot of other influences on an equal term. You know, so it's more democratic in the music that we're pulling from. They might pull from Afrobeat, you might pull from punk, pull from American jazz. Just put it all into the pot and then see what music comes out.
And jazz language is quickly evolving. It can be considered maybe more an approach, a discipline than a model or a style. What do you think about that? How jazz tradition and artists have been helpful to build your music?
It's a difficult question, just because it's like you take influence from everyone. You even take influence from people that you don't like. Some of the obvious people are obviously Pharoah Sanders and John Coltrane, Sam Rivers, but you know, it's in terms of jazz, it feels to me like it's an approach towards learning a vocabulary and then learning how to speak poetically and eloquently and with your own intellect within it and within the same structure. So I think that's the thing that connects all the musics together, that appreciation of the language and the will to use that language to say something that speaks towards the individual and their cultural context.
You read that music for you could be considered a way to unite people in the celebration of music, in the music right. Do you think that it could be considered also a significant vehicle for social and political ideas and values to highlight?
I think so, because I mean, what the music is trying to be creative and to get creative solutions to musical issues and musical problems or musical situations. So the creative, the will to be creative is the same, in my opinion. So if there's a political impasse, there needs to be a creative solution to pass that. Now, a lot of people forget that if you want to have more creativity, then you need to apply the same techniques. And part of those techniques is to allow yourself to ingest more creative stuff. So if I want to be more creative in music, I might read more writers that are stimulating. I might see more visual art that's stimulating, see more musicians. Everything will help in the creative impulse. So if you've got a doctor, lawyer, politician that comes to a concert, then I think that from seeing that creativity on stage, you go back to your regular life, and then you get more creative solutions to whatever problems are in your particular profession. So in that way, I think in a asymmetrical way, then it does solve a lot of creative problems in the world outside of the concert hall.
Thank you very much, Shabaka.
Cool, pleasure.